Hey everyone, welcome to your Autumn Equinox Pick a Leaf reading. I'm excited to bring these to you for this 3-month period, and it's actually a part 2 of two of these videos that I'm doing. The first one was actually back on August 8th, and those were the Lion's Gate portal readings. Those were letting you know what you were surrendering to or what you were getting ready to surrender, and that energy has been working since August 8th up until this reading, which will be from September 22nd to December 21st for this year. And these readings are going to be out, because autumn, fall, what is falling away out of your life to make room for the new. So I will go ahead and put the link for the Lion's Gate portal readings in the description box below, and also a link to the playlist at the end of this video, just to make it convenient for you there. So I would definitely go check those out if you haven't already, just to see what energies we're bringing you into this autumn equinox period. And as I mentioned, this is a pick a leaf reading, so you do have a choice between 3 different leaves, or 2 or 3, as many as you want. We don't limit it here, but if you want to choose the red leaf, that's reading number 1. The orange leaf will be reading number 2, and the yellow leaf will be reading number 3. Number 1 we're going to do first, and so if you chose one of the others, that timestamp will also be in the description box below. So let's dive right in and see what this fall equinox is going to be bringing you. All right, my Geminis, if you chose reading number 1, the red leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And this is what is going to bring us our first message, what the Creator wants you to know about what is falling away during this autumn equinox, and what we'll be looking at what that falling away is going to bring in new for you as well. So we're going to start off by what's falling away out of your life during this period of time. Let me get into the rest of the reading here. All right, Creator, what do you want our Geminis to know? Okay, right off the bat there. So surrender to rest and sleep. So a wonderful message there. So to prevent a burnout, slow down. Honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, definitely a time for rest. It really feels like it's much needed. So vacation time, woohoo! You're getting a big affirmative yes if you were going, hey, I wonder if I should go on a trip. Somewhere, of course, with all the stuff going on in the world, keeping your nurturing yourself and doing it all sorts of ways. And there's a lot of easy ways to do that, still. Just to keep your eyes and ears open, because there'll be opportunities that'll come up. But it's definitely making sure you're taking time for you. You've been investing a lot of time in others and in doing, all those things that you felt need to be, should be, supposed to be, have to be done. All those urgent things that have been demanding your attention, but this is about making yourself important and nurturing yourself. So really, what's falling away is this super overdrive into helping everyone else and abandoning your own needs and your own self. So we're also going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown archetype. And, with that falling away, there's going to be like this little hole in your life and for a moment, right? When you stop giving, it gets really quiet and silent. You're like, I feel uncomfortable. This is not normal for me to have like a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and quietness and solitude of some sort. And so we're going to see what that hole is going to be filled with this card here. So let's just give these a shuffle. And we will see what newness is coming in, what new thing is coming in to replace all that activity, all that external activity that's wearing you out and exhausting you. Creator, what do you want our Geminis to know about this? Okay, this is the one here. Yep, so you got the orphan, and that's number 5 there. So yeah, it's interesting because there's this kind of duality that comes with this card here, because you're surrendering to rest and sleep. It's like you're trying so much to be accepted and be wanted to fit in. That's what the orphan heart feels like, when you felt like you've been abandoned by those who should love you, and then so you try overly hard to maintain that acceptance, to avoid that rejection, because you don't want to feel those feelings and that emotion again. So what's filling up is quite the opposite of the orphan. It's like feeling like you're an only child, and rather than feeling like it's like this, let's talk about the duality. There's like 2 sides of a sword, right? Because you can choose, if you're orphaned and rejected by others, that that I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I've done something wrong, or something wrong with me, or the people who do choose you, because an orphan usually ends up in the hands of other individuals, that those individuals chose you not because they had to from blood, but they chose you for you. And so there's this amazing transformation that happens there, and you can see this snake that's wrapped around here. It represents kind of the world card in the major arcana, which is endings and new beginnings. But there's also this energy around a snake, which is about growth and shedding of old skin because of the growth that you're going to have. And let's take a look here. And number 5 is also a number of change. So that definitely falls in with that. And let me find number 5 here, and we will see what that card brings for this archetype. Yep, so the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. So to study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We're in a time of universal orphanage of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card, as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feeling this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. And it mentions tenderness beyond tenderness is required. Imagine holding yourself in your hands. To recognize that each one of us fears rejection and isolation is to take one step toward the orphan. More kindness always. So access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing. Keep it simple. Ask the orphan what it wants to draw, what it wants to make, what it wants to say. When you're in the light of this energy of the orphan, you have deep solace, deep acceptance, deep love. When you're in the darker side of the emotions of this card, then you're distanced, you have hates, and you have avoids, you're controlling, you're limiting. And to go deeper, it offers reading Mary Oliver's The Kitten is the title of the work of Mary Oliver. So I really, this surrender to rest and sleep is really about like it was mentioning for this card here, that you're taking this time away for you to look and evaluate those feelings that you felt. And you may, like all the stuff we were talking about that is wearing you out, is that, trying to be accepted, trying to be loved, trying to make up for those abandoned feelings that you had. But it's time for you to take time away for you to nurture you, and to nurture literally the inner child, right? To nurture that inner piece of you that feels orphaned, and finally to give yourself the love and the nurturing that you deserve. So taking this time away allows you to open up to really look into those emotions. And of course, we're going to look more deeply into these. I'm going to pull some cards here from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is the companion deck to these. And we're just going to see what additional messages the Creator has. And what we're going to do is pull one card, which is going to represent the energies that you're coming in with from the Lionsgate portal that happened on August 8th. So from August 8th all the way up till September 22nd, which is the start of the Autumn Equinox, we're going to pull a card here that represents that energy that you're bringing in. And then we're going to pull a card that represents the first month, September 22nd, up to October 22nd. And then there'll be a card here for October 22nd to November 21st. And just because there's 31 days, that's why it goes down a day. I have to explain that, so people, like my mind, will go like, why is there 1 day less? Now you know. And then this will be November 21st up to December 21st, which is the winter solstice. So we're going to start here then. Let's double one more time here. Right, Creator? So for the energies from the Lionsgate up until September 22nd, what do you want them to know about what's coming in? Okay, and what about September 22nd for that month? Okay, and then October 22nd. Okay. Do you want all of these? Okay, and they wanted to stay up here, so you'll see that. And then November 21st, please. Okay. You got two there. Wow. A lot of great messages here. Let me just put these over here. And then we will also be pulling everyday tarot for clarification for each of the months as we go around. Just a heads up. Yep, so you have the Seven of Pentacles here, which just means that from August 8th up until the Autumn Equinox starts, you've been doing the work, you've been taking it step by step by step by step, and you've been learning the patience of not rushing to the end. And which is great, because when we rush through things and rush to kind of an end result, we miss a lot of information. It's like speed reading through a book and not reading each of the pages. You miss a lot of helpful information for the plot and all that. So I love this for you, because this is definitely telling you that during that time, you're really learning to be patient and just taking it a step at a time, and that it's okay to take it a step at a time, and you don't need to rush. We're also gonna, like I said, pull some cards here and see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy. And you're seeing the fruits of it too, is what the pentacles are, because the pentacles, of course, are our abundance and our outside world, and like finances and all that, but it's all about our success too, and progression with this. So Creator, what else do you want? Okay. What else for our Geminis for this energy? Anything else? Okay. Okay. So you got these two for here. Yeah, so you have Ace of Cups, which is beautiful, because this is the chalice, the Holy Grail. I really always see this as, this is the offer of unconditional love from the Creator. The cups are our emotions. So it's this very loved feeling that has been coming in. You see the Spirit coming in and bringing that, and you're filling up and overflowing with this love. So you've been slowly taking these steps, and doing the inner work, as they say, and so you really started to open up to this love, which is great, because when you're finding this self-love inside you, that's what you're able to give to your little orphan here. And I really feel like this rest and sleep is getting away from a lot of situations where there's negative energy going on, and that you've been trying, you've taken it step by step because you've been so busy, you had no choice because you didn't have time to take it any faster. And so with this rest and sleep, you're going to have, you're still going to take it step by step, but you're able to really relax into each step instead of, it's like, okay now. It's just going to be like this nice, calm, gentle walk in the wilderness instead of like a speed walk, on city pavement where there's activity going on around you, distracting you. So I really feel that this love is what's coming in, and you got the Three of Wands. So Wands is your energy, your drive, your ambitions, and like the Two of Wands is about making plans, and the Three of Wands is getting ready to step off into the next step of, like a Two of Wands would be like getting from A to B, and planning all the rest. And then this is like moving from B into C into the next step. So, I love that about this is like the plans of the steps that you're taking, and you're ready to take another step here, which is really moving into evaluating this feeling of worth for you. Because once you get a taste of this unconditional love from the Creator, it takes some unconditioning of our beliefs that we have around our worth, right? So we're going to see what comes in here then, because all that energy is what's bringing you up into the fall equinox here. Yeah. So you have the Three of Wands here, but then you have the Son of Wands, which this would normally be like the Knight of Wands. And you can just see all the amazing energy that is coming in for you here. And it's so perfect because this is what is taking you when you, like I was talking about, when you release so many of those beliefs and attitudes and mindsets around your worth. And are you even worthy of unconditional love from the Creator, from the other side? Are you even worthy of that? When you realize, like, what? I am. Instead of feeling like an orphan, you actually switch over to feeling like having this relationship as the only child of the Creator. It's, I don't know why I just had, I guess Orphan Annie is pretty popular, but I had Daddy Warbucks and Orphan Annie. You have this billionaire, with endless resources and possibilities and love, and wants you, so that you are the one that is chosen from the Creator, and the Creator wants to have a relationship with you as your mother and father of all things. And so you move out of this orphan, the darker piece of feeling victimized and abandoned, into feeling chosen and worthy, and even like royalty, right? Let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming in, where it's just with all this resting, like the surrender, taking this time to yourself, again, all that energy that you were investing in all these other things, when you take a step away, all that energy, and bring all the energy back into you, it also just makes you feel excited and full of energy, because you're taking all that energy that you use to nurture other people and nurturing yourself. So, right, Creator, what else do you want Geminis to know about the month September 22nd up to October 22nd? Okay, I feel like that. And then also these two. I'll just put those here for now. Yep, so balance. And it's beautiful. Here's the Ace of Cups that we were talking about here. And this is your human side. And so it's that beautiful love pouring into your physical world. And what's cool about this card is they have 1 foot on land and 1 foot on water. And so the one land is like your physical world and your mind and your thoughts and beliefs, and the other is your emotions and your spiritual side. And so it's this balance, and just saying that feeling the love flow into both, all areas of your life, which is, this beautiful energy that we're talking about here. And you have the Six of Wands, and usually this is about, you get recognition, and you're feeling supported, feeling like people are recognizing you, recognizing your abilities. And again, this energy, like I feel, is like for the first time you feel like literally like royalty. You're riding in on a horse and you have all these people, all the people of the kingdom, you have the love of the mother and father of all things, the king and queen of the kingdom, that are loving and supporting you. And you do feel like this just worth, and but the worth is coming from inside out, not from external recognition. All these other wands of people recognizing you is the spiritual world on the other side. You have this vast array of beings of unconditional love and light that are supporting you and recognizing you and giving you their love. And it's not like a earthly kingdom where people are plotting to take over the throne, and stabbing people in the back, and all the little maneuvers they're doing, like on any of the shows that are out there, based in the olden times, whether it's King Arthur or other more current ones that are totally skipping my mind right now. I'm not sure. All I hear is winter is coming. So, like movies like that where, they're piercing you and trying to get in control. In this kingdom, everyone is focusing on pure unconditional love and acceptance and support for you. And that's what this energy and this connection is bringing in. And with the Six of Swords, this is, you're moving from old thoughts and you're moving in the direction of new thoughts and beliefs, which totally makes sense, because what's falling away is these old beliefs and thoughts about who you were and your worth, and you're learning a whole new way of believing about yourself during this month, which coming into this October 22nd, you have the Magician, which this is about realizing you have everything you need inside you. You see the infinity symbol here, which represents your awareness of your higher self, your eternal self. You've got your swords and your pentacles, your cups and your wands. You have everything you need, including, here's like that, your higher self, and this beautiful energy, like it had here, that beautiful energy is, filling you up. And the whole Magician is about being this conduit, like a lightning rod, of bringing that energy and that love energy from the heavens down into the earth. And so what you are realizing during this October, it's progressing with this awareness of, who you are, what you're capable of, and whatever you focus on is what grows. And so you learn that if I focus on the feelings of the other, kind of shadowy emotions of feeling abandoned and as a victim, rather than as I am a royal child instead, a royal chosen child, whatever you focus on is what grows. Yeah, this is so perfect. So you got three felines too. So you've got, the jaguar or the cheetah here. And then you've got the tiger here with the high priestess, which the high priestess is all about connecting to the unknown, connecting to the higher spiritual realms. She's the one that can connect to your whole posse on the other side. So, definitely you have one and then two. So it's the masculine and the feminine as well. The mother and father of all things, becoming aware really that you have these parents that are not earthly, no one's parents, even our parents' parents, and our parents' parents' parents, and our parents' 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 parents, no one thought their parents were perfect, because as humans, they can't be. we chose them not to have these perfect guardians of our lives, forever bringing us everything we could ever want. We chose them to have the experiences of the opposites, and every parent always did the best they could with what they had at the time. And if you knew the entire life of your parents growing up as children, you'd be like, wow, you'd have a new earned respect for what they overcame and how they turned out to be who they were. Even if, like, you felt abused by them, it's like you don't understand how more drastically they were possibly abused when they were younger, and so on, right? And so, you do have this beautiful energy coming in October about, one, realizing who you are and your higher power, and then connecting to everyone over on the other side as well. And again, this mother and father of all things. And then you have the Strength card. So you have 3 major arcana cards for October 22nd, which means it's a very life-changing and powerful period from October 22nd up till November 21st. Because the Strength card, again, you had the eternal, infinity symbol there, which represents real interaction with your higher self, with the other realms. And usually, so the Strength card represents, like, the lion here is the human side of our existence. It's like the animal that's fight or flight, that's hungry, that's looking out here for everything to fulfill it and make it whole, make it feel valued, salts, food, and liquids that it's trying to fill its stomach with to solve its hunger and its thirst. It's looking out here, but all those things are temporary and they don't fill it up. So it ends up I like saying that the lion becomes hangry, which is hungry, angry, and he's roaring in the jungle. He's so hungry. He's so desperate for food. And what's beautiful about this card, normally it has like a female character here calming the animal down, and so it's not suppressing the animal by putting it in a cage or by stabbing it or by using a whip and chair. What the lion is really looking for is unconditional love. It's looking for that love. And the female being in there is usually, it represents our higher self, which in this, you have this bright light up here and this symbol here, which shows that how the higher self quenches the hunger and thirst is it gives it what it's looking for, which is unconditional love. So your higher self gives the love to your smaller self here, and that's what brings you this fulfillment and this peace. See how it has the friendship rose in its mouth, and it's bringing that. And so 3 felines here showing the just the connection that all of that has with bringing love to you, making you feel, like the king of the jungle, making you feel royal, making you feel loved by a mother and father of all things. And, knowing that even if our human parents didn't give us everything that we thought we needed as children, we do have divine parents who can be trusted and can give us everything we've ever wanted for. And you have this, I love that the orphan has the parents here and has learned who it really is and is giving itself the love it deserves. We're also going to pull cards here every day, see what else the creator wants you to know about that month. But it sounds like an amazing month to me. So October 22nd to November 21st, just a real revelation of love and a connection to the other side, like crazy. Okay, what else do you want them to know about that month for our Geminis here? Okay. Yeah, so King of Wands. And I laugh because this is one of the few cards in the deck, in addition to kind of this one here, that because wands is like your fire, your passion, your ambition, your drive. But for me, wands, because it's the fire signs, also represents our spiritual side, and being the king of wands, and see how he has the fire in his hands here. For me, this is also a card meaning higher self. So connection to your higher self is definitely the message for that month. And then you're coming into November 21st, and you have another major arcana, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot really represents, like the first, like 7 cards represent our journey of our ego, understanding how the world works, making choices, seeing that there's both, usually it'll have like a dark horse and a white horse, that there's always a choice to make in every moment. And I love that this one has a moon on here, and here's the sun as well. Here's that amazing, energy of who you really are and the love from the other side, that there's this beautiful choices to make in every second. And like we're talking about with the Orphan card, choosing, I can choose the dark, shadowy side of things to experience those opposites I came here to experience, like abandonment and unworthiness and failure and, all those other emotions that just feel really heavy and weigh us down and very shadowy and dark. And then I also can experience the total other spectrum, which is of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter. And so I can experience, any of the fluctuations. And so November 21st to December 21st, it's really about understanding your power of choice, and this amazing ability that you have to transform any moment, that you are the one that holds the key to what anything means about you that happens in life. You're the one that holds the story, and you're the one that can adjust the story. Yeah, because you are the star. And again, connection to your higher self. This is one of the other ones that other cards that just really shows that you are the star. It's full of hope. You understand that it was in darkness that you understand and can see the brightness of yourself. If there was a star right in front of a sun, you wouldn't be able to really see the star because it all just blends together in light. But when you're standing out in the darkness, you really see this amazing contrast of who you are. And you have all that support. Again, all these other stars out here are all those other beings of unconditional love and light that are always hanging out with you. So that is beautiful and perfect there. And then we'll pull cards here too, just see what else the Creator wants you to know about that month of November 21st to December 21st. Okay. You have the 7 of Cups. And this is the emotions. What I love about this is that for this reading, this is showing you that these are all the emotions that are possible, that we can experience. There's so many options of so many emotions, and not one of them is wrong. So, really reinforcing this Chariot, which is also the number 7. I'm just going to move this like this for now. The number 7 is the choice, and there's no wrong choice. You came here to experience, so you get to experience. And don't be afraid to choose an emotion. Don't resist it. Feel it. And if you don't want to feel it anymore, then you move on to something else. But the more we resist a feeling, thinking that it's wrong and it's, like our shadow side, our shadow side is evil, it must be killed. It's like, no, our shadow side is just wanting love. And so we give love to our shadow side. We give love, and we allow the emotions to be felt, and we embrace it and surround it with love. And so if you're feeling like, especially with the Orphan, if you feel this abandonment, then you feel it for that moment, but you don't have to make choices based on that emotions. You can just feel, and then when you realize you're feeling, the orphans, deep pains, then you can embrace that with the love, and that transforms that emotion, instead. But you get to feel and witness and experience every emotion. Yeah. Because you have the death card here. Don't freak out. Death card just means death and rebirth. So a whole new you is definitely coming about here. You're understanding the true you of who you really are. And you are definitely like the Six of Swords, and the whole falling away theme of this reading is you're letting those things fall away that no longer serve you. All those emotions that you experience that you're like, okay, I experienced those and I'm ready to not live my life with those emotions ruling them. I'm going to, give it love and allow myself as the royal child, to rule, instead of the feeling of this, scratchety, ratchety, little old, dirty, orphan living on the streets. I'm transforming into this new being of a royal child living in a palace full of unconditional love and abundance, knowing I have everything I need. Yeah. And then you have the Two of Wands. So with all that new awareness, I love that how it comes full circle for you, that once you reach this point, all the plans and stuff that you had made before were based on this feeling of lack and abandonment and not feeling worthy. But with all this rest and sleep and time away that you've seen, and you've really become grounded in all this, you see the world, literally, you see the world from a whole new perspective. And then you're like, well, I'm going to adjust my plans and adjust what I want to do with this new information and in being in this new place. So I'm loving this. And then lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card here. This is the Wild Unknown Animal. It's like a spirit guide deck. And of course, it's the companion to those other two decks. We're just going to see what spirit guide energy is going to be with you, what spirit animal is going to be with you. So this one wanted to come out here. So you've got the golden egg. Yay. That's beautiful. It's definitely a powerful card here. There's a special, because it has to do with spirit, of course. What else would your reading be about, right? And let me just find the golden egg here. Here it is. So the golden egg is message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. So within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. That's hilarious. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. I probably mispronounced that. It's Nidra. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. And it says the golden egg and the fourth chakra. So the subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra called Anahata, Anahata, again, forgive me for mispronouncing, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translate as the unstruck sound. That is amazing. I can't even say, this is so perfect. It goes totally in with surrendering to rest and sleep, taking time away for yourself, find this place of silence where you can do that internal journey because you are waiting there for you. So I really, really am blown away by that. I love how everything works together here. And, just know that as you go through your entire autumn period of time here, that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by our Creator, the Mother and Father of all things. And I love you too. Have an amazing autumn equinox period. And we will talk with you soon. You take care now. All right, my Gemini, if you chose reading number 2, which is the orange leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know is falling away out of your life, making room for the new. So we're going to start off by seeing what is falling away. Creator, for those Geminis that chose reading number 2, what do you want them to know about what's falling away during the autumn period here? Okay. You are surrendering your position of the Queen of Denial. So you're surrendering denial. And I love that picture there. So removing the blinds. And it says, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision. So yeah, it's all about you're letting the denial fall away, which is an amazing thing because so much of our lives we spend making excuses for other people's actions, or love is blind, and we overlook all these things that are our little child inside of us, our little ego is being hurt over and over and over again, and we smooth it out and go, no, there's nothing wrong, it's okay, because we don't want to get rejected, or we fear that we're going to have conflict, and so we keep everything suppressed to a point. So you're not really someone who normally is the fighter in fight or flight. You're more of the fleer, the freezer, where you no, don't do anything, hide your feelings, run away from your feelings, rather than have a confrontation, because that always ends badly, based on what you have seen and experienced in your life. So, but at some point, this builds up so much, you explode much more worse than fighting little battles. We end up going for the jugular, because I know this is how I was growing up, very keeping my emotions and my own thoughts and my beliefs to myself, because I didn't feel very high of myself. So I didn't think that my opinion had any, warrant to say anything. Everyone else's feelings and thoughts were more important. But once I got to a certain point, then I would go from silent to screaming, exploding character, which totally freaked everyone out, because when the mime suddenly talks, everyone's like, oh, what? And not even talking, but yelling. The mime out of nowhere just yells. It freaks everyone out, right? And so, this is about surrendering denial, both of suppressing those thoughts of other people, and what you're allowing other people to walk all over you, and also amongst all that is surrendering to the denial of how you're feeling about yourself, because all those things that are coming, of course, are mirrors for us to show us how we feel about ourselves until we see them. So this falling away of denial, of course, is making room for something which is going to, leaves this hole in our life when we're like, well, I'm going to surrender that. What am I going to replace that with? And that's what this card is going to be. This is the wild unknown archetype cards. And so we're just going to see what the creator wants you to know about what comes and fills up that space that's left when we let denial go. So let's take a look here. All right, creator, what do you want our Geminis that chose number 2 to know? Okay, that one right there is screaming like a mime who was quiet and now is doing that. Oh, wow. So the mystic. I love this for you. Beautiful butterfly, beautiful transformation, third eye on both sides. You got an eye there and an eye there. So definitely it opens up your world, not only transforming the way you look at yourself instead of a grungy little caterpillar or a big liquid mess in a cocoon. You're going to be able to see yourself as this beautiful butterfly you are, seeing things from a higher, different perspective and connecting really to the other side. What I really feel for a lot of you, it's a general reading, of course, but so many of you have this strong sense of feeling people's emotions, and that's what's kept you in denial for so long and kept you suppressed for so long, because you know what it feels like not only to be hurt in yourself and feelings of hurt, but you felt everyone else's hurt, and so you're like, I don't want to be someone that hurts other people, so I'm just going to be quiet. But this revelation allows you to see beyond the emotions and in a whole new different way. And I'm sure we'll see what unfolds as we do more here. But let's see what this book talks about here for you. Of course, it's the seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. And the mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent changemakers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic reveals in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. And it says, it may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. And that is an amazing thing. And there's a couple more things I'll read here in just a sec, but what I'm really getting, the strong message is that, all this darkness that you've been experiencing has allowed you, when you move away from the denial, you're able to take on the second piece of this amazing ability that you have of feeling everyone's emotions. Because empaths, I know, I used to feel people's emotions when I was very young, and being in crowds and around restaurants and stuff would just overwhelm me because I'd feel everyone's emotions because I wasn't yet exuding my own emotions outward. But once I found my power and found that I not only have the ability to feel other people's emotions, but I get to influence other people's emotions. My energy, if I'm focusing, whatever I'm focusing on, impacts other people. You have this extra higher amount of flow because of your heart. You are sensitive to feeling, and thus whatever you're feeling impacts when you walk into a room. So people can tell, oh my God, they're in a bad mood today. Immediately, they can just feel it come into the room. But also the power we have is once you connect to this amazing unconditional love energy inside, and this wholeness and this transformation that you have, when you exude that unconditional love or joy, laughter, peace, people can just feel it flood in. And if you're having all this emotion powerfully come out of you like out of a fire hose, other people's emotions can't come in and they don't overwhelm you. You are aware of them, but because the emotion that you're putting out of light and love and peace and laughter, those shadow emotions can't get to you, right? So it also says, like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame, or tapas, T-A-P-A-S, within. And when you're connected to the light side of this energy, you are the remover of darkness. You're the visionary. You're ageless. And when you're connected to the darker side of this energy, then you expect results. You seek attention and recognition. And to go deeper, it suggests looking into Zen koans, K-O-A-N-S, poetry, or Murakami novels, which is M-U-R-A-K-A-M-I novels. So if any of those resonate with you, you can check those out and Google them, because I have no idea what they are. But those could help you get in touch and go deeper into the energies of that card. But I love that, definitely surrendering to this denial, surrendering to being so focused on maintaining the shadow energy. When you surrender to that, you become the transformer of those energies, and you become a bringer of light instead of a reinforcer of the shadow, those energies. We, of course, are going to dig deeper into this, and we're going to use these Wild Unknown Tarot, which are the companion deck to these. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull a few cards. The first is going to be representing the energies that you've been dealing with since the Lionsgate portal on August 8th. So from August 8th all the way up until September 22nd, which is the Autumn Equinox start, it's going to be the energies you're bringing up into that. So that's going to be this first card. And then we're going to pull a card here, which represents from September 22nd to October 22nd, then October 22nd to November 21st. There's 31 days, so that's why it drops a day. And then November 21st to December 21st. So we'll see what else the creator wants you to know. So for this September 22nd, okay, I'll turn those over. What about October 22nd? And then November 21st. Okay. Right. And then we're also going to be pulling some cards here from this Everyday Tarot, just here to get clarification as we go. So, all right. So for August 8th up to September 22nd, the energies that you're bringing in. Okay. So you got the Daughter of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. So messages of love, a new type of love that you're realizing coming from within, which makes total sense. That what you've been dealing with is learning a lot about your inner love, and that you're not this ugly duckling. You're seeing the true you and the higher you here. So that color of your, really seeing the color of your shadow too, understanding that your shadow side is a piece of you, and a brilliant piece of you. It's actually, I was reading this book, the it's called Whole Brain Living by Dr. Jill. I forget her last name. I'm so sorry, Jill. But a beautiful thing, because she says, that part of us that is our shadow is the bravest. Like, she looked at it as a superhero, and I'm like, yeah, I totally look at my shadow as a superhero now, because it was the piece of us brave enough to disconnect from the whole consciousness of unconditional love, from feeling whole and complete powerful and unlimited and eternal to feeling all these emotions of this human side of us, right? Feeling lonely and disconnected and limited and unworthy, all those things. It was the one that chose it. So it is definitely a very colorful, powerful side of our existence here, and the reason why we came here. And I really feel like this knowledge is coming to you during this period of time, and you're understanding more about who you are, because the Daughter of Cups also represents, you can kind of see it's like a little duckling, in that, so it's that emotions you have as a child before you get influenced by the outside world with all the praise and punishment of bad girl, good girl, bad boy, good boy, and so you go back to this place where you just feel this freedom, and you just didn't fear not being loved because you didn't even realize it was possible. So you go back to this place of just feeling this beautiful unconditional love from the Creator, from the other side, your true essence of who you truly are. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming in from the Lion's portal. Like, what were you learning during that time, or what energy was flowing up in you? What does the Creator want you to know about that period of time? Okay. Yeah, so I'll start with this one here. Well, they're actually just kind of both so related. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. And for me, the Four of Pentacles for these readings has meant that you find the source of your value from inside. You have the foundations of what the world told you, but you have this higher love that you realize that you're more than what the world was telling you your worth is. And you really have been taking it to heart and understanding what your worth is. And you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is all about the new worth, the new value, the new opportunities. I really feel for this reading, for this here, it's all about this new value. You're no longer looking outside of yourself for your value, which is called retail price, because the external things, the value others put on us based on our use to them, right, in the human form. So if you coat a very, very warm coat, those people in Alaska during the winter in the far north of Alaska think you are priceless, right? However, people in summer in Texas, in the deep south, have you on the blue light special rack. So our value, when we place it on the external things valuing us, is unstable and ends up disappointing us and making us feel worthless at some point. And but when you look on the inside, that's when you truly, like I said, that heavenly value that you find out is that you are truly priceless, and that you are unconditionally loved, and what more can you say? So the energy that comes then, as this goes into the beginning of the Autumn Equinox, September 22nd, so you've got, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so you got the Four of Pentacles again, so your value, and confirmation, judgment. This is when you realize who you really are. Our shadow side and all the outside world, they judge us, and it's all these contrasting judgments and comparisons of one another. But when you realize who you really are, this being of unconditional love and light, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being, that changes your whole approach, realizing that there's another choice for you to define yourself by. We're told this is what you do, and we're like, no one told me that I had a second option of defining myself from this love inside me that I have from the Creator of all things. And that just totally is stable because it's unconditional. Nothing you can do to lose it. Nothing you can do to gain more of it because you have it all already. So you have the stability in your essence of who you are because of that. And I love that. The Judgment card for me is really realizing in who you truly are. And you're a angel walking around in a human bodysuit. Yep, you're not a human having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a human experience for a short time. So we're going to pull from these everyday tarot and just see, Creator, what else do you want our Geminis that chose reading number 2 to know about this month here? Okay. Yeah, so it's about expectations. The heartbreak that we felt. You know, you have this storm and all the raining down, like you felt like a storm has always been brewing over you when you're, before you're coming up to this point here, you feel like everything was plotted against you, But heartbreak is when our expectations aren't met and we feel that disappointment, right? All those things we were taught were supposed to fulfill us, make us feel valued, make us feel whole, on the external disappoint us, because when we use our when we define ourselves and our value by relationships we have with people, whether it's friendships, family, romantic or whatever, people's, like we talked about with that retail price, people's opinions change, people change, or people pass away. If we define our value by like situations never stay the same. And if we define ourselves by, money or objects or possessions, things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So all those things are unstable and they will disappoint us at some point because they're not eternal, they're temporary. And so this is all about this awareness that comes during the month of September about all those expectations that you had put on your value, because as you realize who you really are, all these expectations, which were all these dark birds here, all these dark thoughts and beliefs, all those you realize were like, okay, there was this saying, and I wish I had the exact phrasing of it because I'm just reading it yesterday, but it was mainly saying that my guilt comes from these beliefs that came from others. All this supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and all these expectations came from outside of us. We didn't self-generate them. Those were experiences that happened, expectations that are passed down from generation to generation, or proclaimed in societies or in schools or churches or wherever your religious beliefs are. It's all this stuff. We're fed all these expectations. They all come from the outside. So that guilt and that pain and that suffering originates because there's all these beliefs that came in from outside of us that were like, oh, okay, we'll just take all those on because that's what we're supposed to do, right? And they're contradictory, and you can't please any of the people any of the time, or one person all of the time, right? So this is a great awareness that happens for you in that month, which brings you into October 22nd. Yeah. So you've got the Emperor here, who is in the major arcana, is all about the one who puts down all those roles and all those expectations. That it can represent society, the one trying to control things, put things in order, and that's what society tries to do. It has its purpose to have millions of people live in a small location. In order for everyone to get along, they have developed ways to get along, and more so as well, of course. But the heart of it is that they're trying to help us all get along to where we can live close to each other without everyone killing each other, right? But that is the Emperor is the source of our expectations in the major arcana. It's the one that's putting all those roles down. And then you have the Six of Pentacles, which is all about that giving and receiving, and understanding that you are able to receive as well. With your being this person that you are, you're give and you give and you give and you give and you give. And this is about a message for you of also allowing yourself to receive. And I'm a recovering overgiver, and so for me, what helped me make my steps towards allowing people to give to me, and facing my fear of if people don't need me, then I'm worthless. It transforms into, I'm going to allow other people to give to me because I love the feeling of when people allow me to give to them. So I'm going to also allow them to feel that and give to me. And in order for there to be a giver, there has to be a receiver. So I am going to take on a role of a receiver sometimes and face my fears of what does it mean if if I allow myself to receive from other people, right? And I'm not the giver in the power position, right? So I love that. And let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about this month here. But I just really feel it's allowing yourself to challenge your expectations, challenge all your supposed to's and shoulds, and allow yourself to receive. Yeah, definitely. Well, Creator, what else for October 22nd to November 21st for our Geminis that chose this number 2 orange leaf? Okay. Yeah. And you have the 8 of Cups. So, all these cups are things that were supposed to fulfill you, like we're talking about expectations, all these things that were emotionally, because it's cups is emotions, all these things that were supposed to emotionally fulfill me, that didn't. I still feel thirsty. Thus, I'm walking away from the things that no longer serve me, and I'm going to go in search of those things that do. And so I love that transformation that happens because, all these emotions that you've been dealing with haven't been fulfilling you. They've only been stressing you out and exhausting you. And so I love this transition around the mystic that you were like, you know what? Yeah, those emotions no longer were serving me. Because all the shadow emotions have been filling those cups, but I'm ready for a new cup. I'm ready for, connecting to that unconditional love from the other side, which is the living waters, right? That which truly quenches our thirst, not something that just makes me thirstier or pee a lot. Sorry. I knew I should have said, that this was probably going to be coming next because I had a feeling this is exactly what I was talking about. The Ace of Cups, the chalice, the Holy Grail. This is the living waters that fulfill you. This Ace of Cups is that new emotion, these new beautiful waters that fulfill your thirst. So all the stuff that you're letting go of, this is what's falling away. You're opening up to these new emotions, this new level. And, like we're talking about with this Mystic card, you're kind of like doing this, it's not archetypal. It's the one that converts things from, alchemist. That's what I was trying to think of. You're like this alchemist, or like Jesus turning water into wine. You're turning these dark emotions in these cups into brilliant, beautiful emotions for people, because that's your power that you're really connecting to with this Mystic card. Right, and we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this November 21st to December 21st. That's hilarious, though. But I really feel, that surrender of denial is really, this is like the surrender of walking away from these things that you're like, okay, I've been fooling myself saying these things are fulfilling, but you know what? They're not. I'm going to move towards something that does. All right, Creator, what's your message for here? And I really felt that one too. Yep, so you have the Strength card here, which actually came out in reading 1-2. And what this is, and it's so perfect with this Ace of Cups, because the lion will represent like the human side that we were talking about, right? This human character that is taught to fulfill itself by all these external things, all these expectations, right, in these cups. And So this lion is searching for this food and this water, and it tastes of those things in the external world that are temporary and don't fill you for long and actually make you even hungrier. So this lion is now walking around the jungle. I like saying he's in his hangry mood, which is his hungry, angry, because he can't get the food that he's searching for. So he's roaring in the jungle. And then this beautiful, can see the infinity symbol, the eternal you, the higher self of you, brings you and comforts you, your smaller self, our ego self, our human self. And what our lion, this part of ourselves is really searching for is love, is that unconditional love, right? This is what it's searching for. So she doesn't come down and comfort or try to suppress the lion by putting it in a cage or wounding it with a sword or, beating it with a whip and chair and all that. No, it brings love. She's even giving it a little hug and a little scratch under his, his chin. And so she's bringing that unconditional love, which turns him from this roaring lion into this purring kitten, and fulfilling. So she brings the lion is this goblet of unconditional love, that love from source, that love from the creator, yeah. And then you have the devil. So, and you're realizing, with feeling this, you're realizing those things that you had been trapping you before. Because what this is our shadow. Our shadow brings us awareness of what has been binding us and keeping us tied down and limited, literally tied down and limited, right? And so it does its job in showing us in not subtle ways of those things that are binding us. So from my life experiences, like I would have 5 separate situations or people that were going through the exact same thing, or I was my interactions with them were the exact same way, to where it was like, wah, wah, wah. I see a sign here. This is like so obvious, it's not coincidental. I get a message, and that's how, the shadow, the devil, and this major arcana, what they bring us. They bring us this gift of, look, here is what's binding you. Hello. And then we get to do, that, like this denial is what's binding you in this scenario. And it's letting you know what you're letting go of so you can experience this as well. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle, which of course is a third deck that is related to these other two. And it's going to represent the animal spirit guide or animal spirit energy that helps you during this period of time, helps you transform into your beautiful butterfly, helps you through this journey and this process throughout the fall. So Creator, what do you want them to know? What energy is going to be with them through this whole fall period here? Okay. You got the Cobra. Let me just put that right here. And we will see what message comes with this for you. Oh, sorry, looking in the wrong section. That would help. There we go. Yep, so the energy for the Cobra is pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. So the Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I really feel, your higher self, that connection to your inner, that's your inner teacher, bringing you the love and the information you need for this. Because when you're in balance with this energy, you're a student of life, you're humble, you're wise. When you're out of balance with this energy, you feel like a know-it-all and you're egocentric. And to bring this energy into balance, take a class or study something. So definitely a transformative autumn here for you, and I'm excited for you to experience this beautiful, beautiful transformation into this with this love here, and really find, with this denial here, just the power you're going to bring in with this mystic as well, just because you have such an amazing empathic emotional ability to not only transform your inner world, but help transform other people's emotions so that they can see their inner light and have a taste of this love that will quench their thirst finally. So just know as you go throughout this autumn period here that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. You have an amazing, amazing autumn, and we will talk to you soon. You take care now. All right, my Geminis, if you chose reading number 3, which is the yellow leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from this Power of Surrender cards. And what we're going to find out from here is what the Creator wants you to know about what is falling away from you during the month, or the season, I should say, of autumn, which will be from September 22nd to December 21st this year. All right, Creator, what do you want our Geminis to know? That shows reading number 3 about what is falling away. Okay. You got surrender the habit of people-pleasing. Hallelujah. And it says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And this is great because you are going to be able to save so much energy, and you're really, this autumn is just like this beautiful reflective period for you, realizing like everywhere I've been investing my energy, and it's like I'm trying to please all these people and these people aren't pleased, at least to the extent that I thought they would be with everything that I'm doing for them. And you're like, you know what? Why am I investing all this energy out here when I could be bringing all that energy back within here, within my own self? And I would say that no one can please you to the extent that you can please yourself. And because you know yourself and your thoughts and your emotions and your wants and your needs more than any other human on this planet, right? And so it's like when you bring all that back into you and you get to fill up instead of feeling like you're empty all the time, giving, not getting back, you get to feel whole and complete. And we're going to take a look here too. These next cards we're going to pull are the Wild Unknown archetype. And, as you surrender that people pleasing, that's going to leave this, gap, but like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with all this energy? And that's what we're going to look at next, is what new is coming into your life as that falls away. What's going to replace that space that you're making with allowing that to fall away out of your life. And I am a recovering people pleaser, so I understand the fear of what if people aren't pleased with me. But I've also realized that big aha was so many people, no matter what I gave, I could have given them the world and they still would have not been pleased because they were unhappy inside themselves. There was no way to make them to feel pleasure, to make them feel pleased, right? And so you realize that and going, you know what? Yeah, I'm the only one that can make me happy, so I'm going to make myself happy, and my happiness is going to fill me up, and everyone else gets the overflow of happiness that comes from me. Or I'm going to fill myself up with love. When I'm going to be filled with so much love, people get to get the overflow of love, but they don't get your basic needs that make you feel whole and complete. You get to get that yourself, and they have the total capacity and capability of doing that themselves too. So just so you know. Right, Creator, for our Geminis that chose the yellow leaf, what do you want them to know about what's coming in new for them in place of the falling away of these these pleasing others? What do you want them to know about what's coming in here? Okay. The Starborn. So yeah, definitely a new birth, new hatching, new M3 is creativity too. So all that energy definitely is creating this whole new expansiveness within you, and you get to see, it's funny because with the Starborn, it says the divine child, the star child, the destined. So when we're trying to please other people, and they're not being pleased, so the audience is not clapping, when you realize and you become your own star, you realize that you are all the praise that you needed, right? You just find out, I become a star in my own world, not their world, in my world. So it says, an elusive yet radiant aspect of the self, the Starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, whether vaginally or surgically, the royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world, meaning all of the planets in the certain patterns in certain places like astrology. It brings special gifts and special experiences that are just for you in your life. So the idea of destiny is controversial, yet the Starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself towards a future that's beyond the mundane. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than as a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. I love it. When this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long-lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood, and let this desire shake you up. And have your chart read, so your astrological chart, right? Study your constellated shape, ask questions. What does the process conjure in you? Faith or mistrust? What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? So this beautiful galaxy out here is your ally. Because when you're in the light energy of this archetype, you are a light. You're trusting, you're vibrant, you're aimed. But when you're in the darker side of the emotions, you have a feeling of misalignment and a loss of longing. And it says to go deeper, you can read the work called Tripping Over Joy by Hafez, which is Hafez, or reading Shakespeare's Star-Crossed Lovers. So yeah, definitely I feel this whole thing of, when you go out to these theaters to perform, the audience is a really tough crowd, and they are not clapping or applauding, and they're criticizing, and you're like, well, I've had enough of that. All that I've invested in this, and this is what I get. And you're coming back to your own theater and putting on the performance of your life for you and no one else, because you are the most appreciative audience you'll ever have. All right, we're going to get more information on all of this, of course. We're going to start off by pulling from this Wild Unknown Tarot, which is the companion deck these archetype cards. Okay, and we will, actually they said not that one yet. And what we're going to do is, the first card I'm going to pull for here is going to be from the Lion's Gate on August 8th up until September 22nd, which is the Autumn Equinox. So what energy and experiences, or what the Creator wants you to know about what you're bringing in, will be here. And then here is going to be representing what the Creator wants you to know about what energies, whatever you deal with, from September 22nd to October 22nd. This will be October 22nd to November 21st. We drop a day because there's 31 days in October. And this will be November 21st to December 21st. So we will see what the Creator wants you to know about that. So we're going to go around the clock, or around your little world here. All right, Creator, so for the Lion's Gate and up until September 22nd, what do you want these Geminis to know? That chose the number 3. Okay, so that's there. And then here's September 22nd. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll keep it like that. October 22nd. Okay. And then November 21st. And then we'll also be pulling cards here from the Everyday Tarot to get clarification or additional messages for those two periods. Yeah. So you have the 10 of Swords coming in from August 8th up to September 22nd, which the 10 of Swords, these are your thoughts, your mindsets, your mentalities, your attitudes. And usually this is like someone laying down, face down in the dirt with all of them stabbing your back. But this is definitely the card of what I say of exhaustion. It's endings and new beginnings. You're tired. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick and tired of trying to meet all these expectations, which is all this people pleasing, right? I'm tired of it, and you're ready to let it go. So it's so perfect for that. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy coming in, but it is just so fitting, because that is that tough crowd that you're just like, I'm done. I'm tired of being unappreciated. I'm tired of expecting and being disappointed. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Geminis to know about this period of time here? So you have the 7 of Swords, which for me, for this reading, these are all your thoughts and expectations that you've had, and you've been letting them go. So you had the 10. If you had, had these expectations added up into here, these are the ones that you're letting go. The things that you're like, my thought, my belief about that, I'm letting that go. I'm letting that go. You still have things in your hand that you're dealing with, but not happening all at once. But you do have the Sun card here, which is all about, movement forward, about success, about progress. You're bringing things into the light. You're returning to this childlike feel upon the white horse, and especially being this about really theatrical theme here. The star, here's the star. Here you're riding out like on a white horse, being this heroic figure in your life. And in the drama that we're having, we usually have a victim, a villain, and a hero, and we'll become a victim in order to have a hero enter our lives. But I really feel with all this stuff, you're like, I'm tired of waiting for a hero to come in, those heroes disappointing me. I just got to do this myself, and you become your own hero, is what I hear. And then as you're coming into September, then with all this energy you're bringing in, totally makes sense that the Mother of Pentacles, which is normally like the Queen of Pentacles, is here. And here is the nurturer. It's like mother nature, mother nurturer. And what I'm feeling is this isn't you nurturing others anymore, because all that people please, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to become my own mama. I'm going to become my own nurturer. I am self-nurturing. And I really feel that this is what, all this journey that you've been on with this exhaustion, you're like, I'm taking time for me. I'm going to, whether it's getting a massage, getting energy work, taking a little mini vacation, taking time for yourself, just to have some coffee or tea and read a book, or just go sit out in nature, whatever makes you feel, pedicure, manicure, whatever, where you feel like I'm giving myself attention, I'm giving myself nurturing that I want, that I haven't been getting from others, but I've been spending all of my energy and money and time, whatever, for everyone else. But now it's time for me to please me. And I love that. Yeah, because you have the Mother of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, you are, this is the Eight of Pentacles. So you're doing the work for yourself. The spider doesn't go and make webs for all the other spiders and then leaves and lets them take it over. You are making your own web. You're making your own, doing your own work, doing your own things for you that are going to bring you benefit. So you keep doing that, because this work that you're doing, the self-nurturing, is for you and is beneficial for you. Yeah, because you have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is so perfect when it comes down to this here, because when this is talking about the galaxies on your side and to have your chart done, the Wheel of Fortune is such a perfect example of this, because the Wheel of Fortune for me represents, before you come down here, you are the soul. And you meet with, the Creator and all of your posse, your angels and guardian angels and spirit guides and everyone that's going to support your entire journey here on Earth. And you're like, okay, this is when I'm going to be born. This is when I'm going to have the death scene of this character I'm going to play when I go down there, this avatar, for this game. And these are the things that I want to experience when I'm down there. And so, help that stuff unfold, because this is what I'm going to experience through all those. And what's beautiful about it is that you, as the human, no matter what experience happens, you still have your free will while you're down here. And whatever experience comes, you get to choose, am I going to choose an extreme emotion of fear or an extreme emotion of unconditional love or whatever in between? And that's up to you. So you get to put the story, the movie behind whatever experience you have happen. So you're the one that gets to decide what it means about you, even though you get all this, what are the movie critics having all these, this is what it was, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to take any of that at all. That's their opinion. You get to have your own opinion and your own choice of what you're going to experience within each moment. And this Wheel of Fortune is about your life is constantly moving along on this script, moving along from page to page to page in the script and in the experiences. And you can, go with the flow and walk along with it, or you can be dragged and rolled with it as it moves along anyway, along with you, because usually the Wheel of Fortune will show you up at the top here, and like anything, like pretend this is like a round thing here and you're on top. If as the world moves and things change, if you move with it, then you're just moving right along. But if you hang on and don't move, you're like, oh my God, you have to hold on for dear life as it comes back around. And really, it's only a fourth of the time you feel stable, and you feel unstable 3/4 of the time, because you're being dragged around the 3/4 of the time, and you're on top only a fourth of the time. So, this is definitely like a message of the universe. Whatever's happening in your life, realize it's happening for you according to the plan. And it's not happening to you. And when it says the universe is on your side, it's having these things unfold as you requested. So it's definitely a different point of view. This is the 10 as well. So you've got a 10 endings and new beginnings, 10 endings and new beginnings as well. So just a wonderful changes happening that are happening for you, to allow the perfect incubation of your little egg to hatch. So we'll ask the creator here, what else do you want them to know about this September 22nd period? Okay. Yep, so you got the Four of Pentacles. So for me in these readings, it's been meaning that, you find your worth in the heavens, you find the worth within inside, and you understand the worth that of the world, that how they are putting value on things. And just this great awareness, like we're talking about, when you're connecting to your higher self, when you're connecting to this higher realm and understanding who you truly are, that superstar, then you realize, okay, everyone has an opinion out there, and I don't have to take that opinion on as my value and my worth. They are just reflecting how they're feeling inside about themselves on me, and it has nothing to do with me. How I am looking at them, it shows me how I feel about myself. So that is my own reflection, right? So it's a beautiful awareness about your worth that you really face and obtain. 4 is a good stable number, like a table with 4 legs. So, you have this really beautiful awareness that comes up in this stronger sense of your worth during that month of September 22nd to October 22nd. And then October 22nd, you have the Empress. So a 3, and you have the 3 here. And the Empress is about birth and new birth as well. So maybe this is when the star is born, like the movie. So October 22nd to November 21st is where you have this renewed feeling of freedom, because the Empress is like Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, again, a lot like the Mother of Pentacles. The Empress she usually shows a woman that's pregnant with a little rabbit and stuff too. Actually, I think the rabbit is usually on the Pentacles, but it's about this new birth, this new awareness, this new beautiful freedom that comes on. You get to be you. It's also a call, the Mother of Pentacles and the Empress are called to get out into nature, get away from all the other stuff, to find that peace and that calmness as well. What else about the Empress? There was something else and it ran away from in my brain. Oh, yes, because she's that free feeling, because what comes next in the major arcana is the number 4 is the Emperor, who is the suppressor, society saying who you should be and all this. So this is, for me, is this really freeing, flowing feeling of nature where it's just free to be itself. It unfolds as it will, and that's kind of that energy that you come in with instead of the suppressed feeling here. You get to, again, with this whole theme of being in acting in drama, it's you get to express yourself in this fresh new way. So we'll see what else the creator wants you to know about this energy that comes in the month of October 22nd to November 21st. Okay. Nope, not all those. That was my bad. Very good. And then you got the number 2, which comes before here, and this is the High Priestess. She's the one that connects to the unseen world, the higher realms, the spiritual side of things. So it's definitely very, and again, this is hilarious that, you have the exact moon in both cards here. I know you can see that. I just had to do that. So you definitely, it's about, I feel this message for October 22nd to November 21st. Look and see what new moon is going on during that period for you. And see what that is doing. If you are going to pull your chart, like it was talking about doing in here, definitely look into seeing what the new moon during that period does for your particular sun sign, like for your moon sign, and really I feel like for your moon sign, because this is the high priestess has such a strong connection to the moon, has a strong connection to the unseen and that very mystical, deep energy that you have. So I really feel this month is just going to be a very divine feminine feel to it as well. So really connect to that piece of you. And every human being, no matter how you identify, we have a masculine divine energy in us and a feminine divine energy within us. And this is very much, the masculine side is more the power, behind the spiritual energy, and the feminine side, of course, is the nurturing side. And so just a huge thing about self-care, self-nurturing, taking care of you, being that mother that you want, and not having other people mother you, because you are the one that's going to give you what you need. And then going into November, ta-da! The star. Can't make this up. So you are, you're realizing this is hope, and for this reading, you're realizing the star that you are, but it also has to do with connecting to your higher self, and that you have this beautiful audience of support, all these orbs, all these other stars in the sky with you. Those are, that whole posse of beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, and this high priestess helps you connect with them during here, and you just really are grasping during November 21st, December 21st, really how unconditionally loved and supported and applauded you are by these beings on the other side. They see you as the perfect soul, the perfect star. You're shining bright. And I really, definitely, as you let go of all this people pleasing, you're going to piss some people off. That happens by their choice, because everyone has a choice, right? They can choose to respond in a loving way by your actions, or they can choose to respond in an unloving way by their actions, and it's totally up to them. You have no control. You can make it an easier choice or a harder choice, by if we're going to be a douchebag to people, we're probably going to get douchebag back. But if we're loving to other people and how we communicate, chances are most of the time we'll get loving communication back, unless they're in a very precarious place in their life where their actions are actually a cry for love. So if it's not of love, it's of a cry for love. And so just know that as you express yourself and you start focusing the energy on you and stop trying to please everyone, that some people are not going to be pleased, even more unpleased than they were before. And that's okay, because one of the biggest things you learn is who your true friends and your true, what do they call it when you're in the arts and you have people who are your sponsors or your audience, your fans. You really find out who your true fans are, or even like sports. When a sports team starts to lose, you find out who the true fans are, because they're the ones that continue to support and love, not complain and diss them and ditch them for another team, right? So, and we're going to find out from Creator here what else they want you to know about November 21st to December 21st. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Yep, the Five of Cups. So it's like I said, there's going to be people that are going to be not pleased, but that's okay. You don't need to focus on them. You can focus on what you do have, and that there's this beautiful bridge behind you that you can cross over these emotional waters from all that spilt milk from those people. You can walk over it without getting wet and go into this beautiful palace where there's so much more waiting for you In fact, I was like, and this is your beautiful theater. You get to go into your own theater. You don't have to worry about all that out there. So yeah, definitely remember the star that you really are. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle, which is also a companion deck to these other two. And this is going to be animal spirit guide energy, like what is going to be with you during this entire autumn period, helping you with this transformation, helping you through this movement from people-pleasing to self-nurturing. Right, Creator, what do you want our Geminis to know? Who is going to be with them during this period? Okay. You got some fire ants, so you definitely getting in tune with your fire. And I'll put that right here. And let's see what message comes from the fire ants. Maybe, if my fingers work here. There it was. I went right by it. There it is. So this is aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. So fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. So when you're in balance with this fire ant energy, you can be thoughtful and disciplined. But when you're out of balance with the fire ant energy, then you argue, you have excess heat, and you gossip. So to bring into balance this energy, have some solo time, have walks at night. What I love is that these fire ants, they are going to accompany you on your journey. And what they're doing is they're the reminders for you. And I don't know if you've ever been around fire ants. I spent a lot of time in Texas in my youth, and you could be standing and not even realize you're on a fire ant bed because they don't like build big mounds. They're like tiny ones. And you don't realize it until they've got onto your foot and they all bite you and you start feeling this stinging on your body. And it leaves sometimes little pus marks too. But they are definitely a reminder that, hey, it's going to be reminders for you that you're standing still, or that you're stepping in something that you don't want to step in anymore. And so they're the reminder for this, to remember who you really are. When you start to have this feelings of pain, realize that's the reminder for you. Use that as a signal to go back to focusing on who you really are. Superstar. But I love this for you, Geminis. Wonderful, wonderful unfolding to realize who you really are, and to go into your own theater, letting go of people pleasing and becoming the best audience for yourself ever. And just know that as you are going throughout this whole autumn, that you are also applauded and unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and that I love you too. You have an amazing autumn, and we will talk with you soon. You take care now.